What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a, what is it, Tuesday night just at 9:30. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Of course, the tropics are on top of mind as we now have two waves that have gone code red from the Hurricane Center. Both of these now have a high chance for tropical development in close proximity to the southeast corner of the United States, parts of the Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, in Bahamas. First and foremost, we're coming at you live tonight on News 6 Plus on clickorlando.com. If you got that push alert, welcome from the News 6 weather app. We have the chat box on there as well. You can add a comment. We can bring that over. And then, of course, on the News 6 YouTube page, I would love to know where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time here, I'd love to know about it. Post in the comments. Give you a shout out. If you have any questions to the course of the show, I may not get to it right away, but there's a section for that at the end. And if there's something that's related to what we're talking about, I can pull that right up. So thank you guys again for taking some time out on a Tuesday evening to hang out with me and chat about the weather. We're taking a live look tonight in Orlando and in Windermere. Had some nasty storms on the west side of Central Florida earlier today. Some power outages in Apopka, some pretty big hail, and a lot of heavy rain and lightning. So we'll get to the Florida forecast portion in just one bit. I want to start with the tropics, though. Those are the two waves. Invest 94L is right here. That's the closer one. This is the one that we're kind of watching closely. It's pretty far south. This is the one. This is 93L. That one might develop first, but they are in close proximity. And this right here is why it is so complicated to forecast this going forward. Normally, I would write both of these off in coming to Florida, but because there's likely going to be shenanigans as the two systems kind of play around with each other for a little bit, the models are going to be all over the stinking place for the next couple of days. The good news is hurricane hunters get up there. We're going to check in with their progress or with their schedule anyway to get up and look at these storms coming up in just 1 second. Should we do models first or should we do the steering current first? I think we'll do models because we're going to do the steering current first. I'm going to go opposite of what I did in an earlier video. Here's the deal. We're tracking these two storms, okay? 93L is the one closer to the Bermuda High. 94L is the one that's closer to the Caribbean. So this is where they're going to be late into the week and into the weekend, not where they are right now. And it's likely going to skirt 94L, is going to skirt the northern side of the Caribbean. Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba maybe, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas. And then does it go further west or does it lift due north like some models and ensembles suggest? We're going to take a look at some of those. The complicated factor with this is models are not, they're going to flip-flop more than usual, I think, because this 93L might push 94L and they might fight a little bit. They might dance a little bit. And then the model needs to catch on where is the center developing now. So it's going to be playing catch up to where it is. That's why it's vital for the hurricane hunters to get out there. So that's degree of difficulty factor number one. Number two is this weird cutoff low. It's cut off from the normal west to east flow, so that's why it's called a cutoff low. By the weekend, it's going to be chilling in the deep south. If it was a progressive trough, it would kick these both out to sea. But unfortunately, it's not. But what this is going to do, it's going to try, depending upon where it is, it might try to tug 94L, the one by the Caribbean, a little bit closer to the coast of the Southeast or Mid-Atlantic. Okay, right now, if the United States is going to be threatened by the southern one, I would favor it to be a little bit further north of Florida, but certainly it's not a 0% chance for Florida to be impacted by one of these waves. So all of that stuff too. So that's what I'm watching. That's the steering current. And I just wanted to let you know kind of what we're looking at when it comes to the steering current and why this is a little bit more complex. I hate being wishy-washy. I do. And so it's just really hard for me to like give in and be like, okay, we just need to wait until we get a center here. The steering current is weird. The two storms playing with each other are weird, and that's going to continue. I want to show you some of the ensemble forecast. We looked at some of these last night, but we're going to look at the latest stuff. And this is going to be the European. I know somebody in the chat mentioned earlier today that they're favoring the European. Okay, there's a lot. I know. I know. Scott hit the nail on the head here. Here we go with the ice storm again. I'm so hoping that the southern one gets named first so that we don't even have an ice storm getting close to the United States, specifically Florida. I don't want any storm close, but I know the psychology with the ice storm for sure. And just hopefully I think it probably would be the ice storm, but all that stuff. Maximum West Pole, what's going on, my man? He says Fujiwara effect hurricane hits the East Coast. It's insane to think about, but a rare thing to hit us land. Yeah, so and that's one of the things increasing the degree of difficulty with this, because there might be some of that going on over the next couple of days where one pulls the other and then pulls the other back, and there's this kind of tug of war stuff. So it's going to be really, really hard, because in order to forecast where something's going, you need to know where it is, and the model may not know where it is because of what Maximum West Pole just suggested here. So let me bust out the telestrator on the other weather computer here. These are the lines here associated with the wave that's further out. That's going to turn. Bermuda needs to watch that one. This is 94L over the next, 94L. They're hard to keep track of. But the one that's skirting the Caribbean as we speak gets down here. And then a lot of them want to take it due north and then back to the west. Okay? That's why I wanted to show you the steering first. That gear thing, that upper low, that would be the culprit to make it do that weird motion. Okay, so that's why I always say, just like my teachers back in the day said, you only get partial credit or no credit if you don't show your work. I want to show you guys some of the work here behind the models, and a lot of them are picking up that it feels the tug of that upper low and it comes a little bit further back to the west. So that's one of the things I'm watching, and that's why we have the arrows drawn a little bit closer to Florida in the southeast corner of the United States. It's because of that upper low, and it's because of maybe some westward influence due to that 93L that's going to be east to it. So all that there. Okay, so back to the ensembles. There are the Euro ensembles. GFS ensembles, I like them a little better for Florida anyway, but then you also see there's that tug back again, because the upper low would be chilling right here, and counterclockwise flow would lift it due north. Okay. And again, depending upon where that upper low is, that's the other thing too. Those are notoriously hard to figure out where they end up. So, I mean, if the low is further back, it could tug it in further south. If it digs further into the Gulf, then it could pull it over. Right now for Florida, if it goes where it's modeled, I don't think it should pivot it around the state of Florida, but then maybe launch it into the Carolinas. Richard brings up a good point here. He says, isn't this a unique situation for storm forecasting with side-by-side location? It is. It's certainly not the first time. I don't know, and I don't have an example of this graphically, but go back a couple years with Philippe and Rena. They were two storms, Northeast Caribbean, kind of similar, and the opposite of what was forecast happened because they did their little dance. I can't even remember anymore which one became dominant and then kind of sheared the other one off and then hit Puerto Rico. So, like, when I say looking at the models now and they are going to change, that's one of the reasons why. There was a situation in 2020. I think it was Marco and Laura. I think Marco and Laura did the same kind of deal where Marco was expected to be stronger, but then Laura killed it. And then Laura was the one that went into the west side of Louisiana. So the degree of difficulty is high. It is unusual, not only for the fact that we have two close together, but also that weird upper low there, also adding to things. So again, we're honestly watching this in real time. This is the Google DeepMind AI that does have a few of these guys going over the Bahamas and then kind of going out in that direction, get it really strong with it with 93L. But that's the deal with the Google AI. I would put more stock in some of the AI models just because what the AI models are going to do well versus the physics models, they're going to kind of look back at um, who put it. Okay, so who put that, Melissa? I would love to know who sent out an alert that we're going to get a tropical storm. If you know who sent it, please let me know. I would love that. I blew past my first break, guys. We're going to touch on this more and talk about why I think AI models might be a little more in the realm of things to watch at this stage in the game. On the other side of this break, a lot of good questions in there. I'm going to try to get to those again in about 3 minutes. Stick with me. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions or thoughts on what you think is going to happen here, I would love to know them too. Post them in the comments. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Alrighty, guys, we are back on a Tuesday night coming at you live on News 6 Plus, the News 6 weather app, clickorlando.com, and of course, the News 6 YouTube page. Post in the comments for me where you're tuning in from. If you're finding us for the first time tonight, I'd love to know about it. Please post that in the chat, and we will continue on with some of the tropics talk that we are dealing with. Travel brought up a good point here about the hurricane hunters I love these men and women. They are awesome. Got to hang out with them earlier in the year before the season started. And they're about to do some great work and help to clean up the water, so to speak. It's a little bit muddy right now. So here's the deal: the forecasts start tomorrow. The emissions, I should say, into Invest 94L, that's the one near the Caribbean, start tomorrow. And it gets things kicked off with the United States Air Force WC, the C-130 plane. That takes off tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, early in the morning, the NOAA Gulfstream comes the storm's way. Now, here's the fun thing about the Gulfstream. This is what I'm actually most interested in. It's this Gulfstream flight, because as it's going to be sampling the environment around the storm. So we're going to learn about some of the nuances in the steering current on how things may play out. And then, of course, we're going to get the fixes from the other two planes, where the center is forming, where the center forms, so that we know exactly where the models can initialize. And that will be something that is critical to forecasting stuff there. I don't know how it's going to beat Aaron. Like, Aaron was probably the powerhouse of the season. I don't know if you mean like to hit something like the strongest to make landfall. I'm not sold on it makes landfall. There's certainly an argument to be made that it does, but anyway, that's yeah, I don't know. Somebody brought up about that, and that's the thing too. There's a shot that one of these die completely. They both shear each other apart. Like, the realm of possibilities of outcomes is just wild, okay? Is just wild with this. So that's one of the things that we are watching. So I don't know. I mean, it could be the water is warm, the environment is good, but the other thing is just all that too. A weaker storm could trend further west. Typically they do, but this is a different situation again, because the Bermuda High is what's pushing it. When it stays weak, they follow the surface flow, which is out of the east. But then you have the other storm complicating that, because then if 94L gets stronger first, then we just have a whole hodgepodge of stuff. So there's still a lot to be ironed out when it comes to all of this stuff, when it comes to the tropics. On the Florida front, it's going to be another stormy day tomorrow. I do think storm chances go lower. We're going to touch more on that coming up at News 6 at 10 o'clock. So in about 15 minutes, I'll show you the high-resolution future radar latest model data coming in. I'm running out of time to show that tonight, since we kind of had a nice, deep tropical discussion. I have to get my other break in. On the other side of the break, I think we're going to have a lot longer for more of your comments and questions. We're going to get into this as well. It's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, the Climate Prediction Center releases what they believe will happen in the long range. That's their kind of deal. You can see there that they have something highlighted, October 1st to October 7th. Wait till you see what happens for the second week of October. You won't want to miss that. I'll catch you guys in 3 minutes. All right, I had a comment that said the ECAIFS is crazy. That's going to be the European Artificial Intelligence Model. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second, but I teased this, so I want to show it to you. This is the long-range forecast again, and the one thing that interests me anyway is that there's no big signal the second week of October for the gyre. There is a 20% opportunity that they have highlighted. I believe that's just for climatology, in my opinion. I don't see anything strong, and I am skeptical that the Madden-Julian oscillation gets over here to fire up thunderstorms. Maybe that's me wish casting. I don't for no storms, but I don't know. As far as Jody, good to see you, Jody. All that stuff. But I don't see it at this point. This brings up a good thing, private name. Windy is literally just the GFS. So I've seen that a lot out there, and it's not accurate. So Windy is literally just the raw computer model. It's nothing more, nothing less. So I just want to point that out there as well, that the Windy app is nothing special. It's just the app it's a nice looking app, but it's just the model. It's just the GFS. And the GFS is typically whack out there. So just want to point that out. Hey Elizabeth, good to see you too. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so I wanted to show you and come on, private. There's no doom and gloom. No doom and gloom here. We don't do that. We don't do that. Here's what I want to show you. Somebody brought up about I think it was, let's see here. I sure hope so, my friend. I sure hope we are done. So here's that Euro. I mean, it's really, really kind of hard to dissect. The consensus is down here, and the spread, all these L's are where the European AI model thinks that the low pressure could be. Okay, I mean that's a big spread. Okay, but here we go. I mean, again, anywhere from the Carolinas, it's wild. Okay. It's way too early. We need to get one of these or both of these to develop, and we need to get a little more clarity on the upper low. And not that I want them to develop. I want to be clear about that. I want these guys to go away. I've been enjoying a relatively quiet season. It's been nice. It's been, believe me, it's been nice. And I don't want to jump off that quiet train just yet. But holy cow. We need to wait for some clarity here. Hey, what's going on, Allie? Good to see you too. There you go. You can use the Windy app. I'm not knocking the Windy app, but I know there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, have you seen the Windy app?" And it's the same models that I'm showing you, just actually like ramped up on the aggressiveness a little bit. So all of those kind of things, but no, I'm not knocking the app. Again, it's just the raw models that we look at together, just displayed in a different way. So that's all that is. So I'm not knocking it. It's just the model. And again, models are guidance, not gospel. Just like the Finding Nemo, fish are friends, not food. Models are guidance, not gospel. Alrighty, guys, I have to run to get ready for the 10 o'clock news. If you want to stay with us, I'd love it. ClickOrlando.com. If you're watching on News 6 Plus, park it. Maybe get a drink of water. Whatever you want to do. Don't go anywhere. News 6 at 10 is coming up next. We're going to have the latest on the tropics. I'm going to show you the Florida forecast for tomorrow. High-resolution future radar data coming in. We'll break that down. And then News 6 at 10 on the traditional TV. News 6 at 11. I don't know what time it is. News 6 at 11 on the traditional TV. I will catch you guys then. And, of course, right back here in this chair, hopefully getting a little more clarity. We're watching this together in real time. and I'm gonna do the best I can to give you my information and my thoughts on it. But it's just a wild and weird, convoluted, complex situation right now. And we'll continue to give you the best information that we can right here on New Six. None of the garbage. You guys know that. I'm keeping my fingers crossed as well, Richard. We need like a decade-long break and then some. Now that's wish casting. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you in a couple minutes on New 6 to 10 tomorrow, right back here, 9:30, every Monday through Friday, New 6 Plus, and on the New 6 YouTube page. Thanks, guys, for being awesome.